But the bottom line is, I'd be disingenuous if I didn't say it's really hard not practicing and not playing this many weeks and coming back into the speed of the game. And again, pass rush, right? None of the things that you can simulate in true practice, getting hit, getting off the ground, all the things that have to happen. He can be Superman, absolutely, but I'm not sure he's going to be vintage Joe Burrow in week 1 coming off that injury.
Yeah, and speaking of pass rush, let's hope he can generate one, because it's his team's defense that's really their problem. All right, and then, Peter, we get to the game everyone is looking forward to, the Chiefs and the Cowboys. What's our opening statement?
Greeny, the record for the most viewed regular season game in NFL history is 42 million Giants-Cowboys in 2021. There is talk that this game between America's team, the Cowboys, and the world's team, the Chiefs, could hit 50 million viewers on CBS afternoon. Both teams, season on the line, looking at this as a must-win game. Playoffs at stake, coming off huge comeback victories. It's the game of the year in the NFL, and it's on Thanksgiving afternoon.
Look, 50 million is like what they get for championship games, right? Yeah. That's AFC Championship, NFC Championship, building up to the Super Bowl. This one has that feel. Let's hear from one of the big stars, Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb. We've seen all the drops of late. It's uncharacteristic. Here's what he said about it yesterday.
There's not really much on anybody else but myself, and I've never been the type to really point the finger. But, yeah, it's all on me, and I got to handle that. Just find ways to get better. You want to be solution-oriented and not really much dwell on the problem. Granted, we know the problem. I need to catch the ball. But other than that, man, we'll be fine. When I do catch it, just be ready.
So, look, here are the numbers. He is on pace, CeeDee Lamb is, for his fewest receiving yards since his rookie season. You'll recall that he missed some time this year. But his drop rate is 11%. That's second worst in the NFL. He's never had a drop rate above 6% in his previous 5 seasons. We talked about it in our meeting this morning. Lewis, you're not overly concerned about that.
No, simply because of the statistic you just rattled off. Look, he's never had a drop percentage that has been even half of that in his entire career. Guys go through slumps. They're human beings. It's something that happens. CD has never been a guy ever since his days at Oklahoma or his days at Dallas that's been really associated with having concentration drops, having bad hands, having anything along that line. He'll get this squared away. This is a nothing thing to me.
That said, if you're Kansas City and you're going into this game, where is your primary focus?
Well, it's about eliminated explosive plays, and George Pickens right now is a walking explosive play.
Yeah, he is.
He is a walking nightmare. So for me, as we were talking about in our production meeting this morning with Dom, look, you have to high-low this guy, meaning you have to put somebody in his face, meaning roll the coverage to him and put somebody over the top. You don't want to cone him. You don't want to in and out him. He'll just split double teams that way. You have to high-low him and say, look, you are not going off for plus 20-yard explosives. Someone else may, but you aren't. So today, take a seat.
Lou is talking language, and Greeny is excited.
Okay,
Greeny's like, I have learned more in the last 30 seconds and in my entirety of life about DB play.
In our meeting this morning, we had a green dog.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to cone him.
Yeah.
We're going to high-low him. Yeah. We're going to one robber.
Yeah.
Learning all the coverages. We got one lurk.
Stay away.
Yeah, because now Mahomes starts scrambling. You got to have a lurker there to get him overshown.
Can we do a football English football dictionary version of this? Dominic, what are we saying here? What is, if you're the Kansas City defense, what are you doing to stop these?
Honestly, you go step 1, and Pickens has been hot. So you want to figure out if you're going to double him. But the problem is, then you go to step 2. And you got your fingers crossed and hope that Lamb doesn't come out of this slump just yet. But he probably will. So the only way they actually can stop this offense is if they get pressure, the pass rush.
Yep.
If you don't give Dak time, if you don't give those receivers time to get open against this coverage, you're much better off because you don't have enough guys to double all the talent that they have out there.
Right, because Jeff, when we were having this, we should have these meetings on TV because Jeff just blurted out, this is a good matchup for Dallas.
It is.
Why?
Because what they do well, exceptionally well, is a weakness for the Chiefs. Like, you think McDuffie is their guy. He's their best cover corner on the backside. We just talked about you can't single up George Pickens by himself, right? I mean, that's a tall task to ask. So you're going to contribute something to him. Now you're leaving CeeDee. And by the way, they got a beast of a tight end in Ferguson. You have one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league who's leading this charge. We talked about this all season. The Cowboys have the absolute an offense that could carry them to the Super Bowl. If their defense just played well enough, it is going to be a difficult task. And to Dom's point about matchups, Spags is going to have to be in his bag of getting pressure and creating pressure to get Dak off his spot, make him hesitate with the ball to allow people to catch up. But when I say it's a good matchup, Javonte Williams can run the rock. Their offensive line, Booker did a great job against Philly. I know Guyton, we have injury with Guyton that the Cowboys left tackle, but they'll figure that part out. When you look at the matchup, I would say I would favor the Cowboys because of what they do exceptionally well. That is not consistent with when we usually talk about the Chiefs.
So we got all our X's and O's. I'm going to slide over this way a little bit because I probably can contribute more on this part of the conversation, which is the psychology of it, because it's fascinating for both teams, starting with Kansas City.
Kansas City was down 20-9 against the Colts last week and driving when Kareem Hunt fumbles the ball, and it looks like that was the season. And they could have said, okay, not only the season, this could have been the end of maybe the dynasty. That's how dramatic this could have been. You watch this play here, Colts recover, and everyone's feeling down in Kansas City, except the leaders. Watch how Travis Kelce approaches Kareem Hunt here. He says, hey, bud, come on, stay up. Hunt's pissed. He's down. Kelce then says, no, we need you. We need you here. I was told that in the commercial break, which wasn't on the broadcast copy, Chris Jones then led the defense and got them going and then led the crowd. They were down 20-9 with the season on the line, and they found a way to dig out of that. That was the nadir of the season. They would have been 5-6 going into this game. I don't know if we're talking about the Chiefs as Super Bowl contenders. Nope. They find a way to go 3-and-out 3 straight times against the Colts. They get the offense going. They win the game. But gosh, 91 offensive plays on Sunday. It's Wednesday now.
Yeah.
It is exhausting to have to win that way every single week. And here we are again, another game of the year that the Chiefs have to play in.
Absolutely. And so for them to then make that turnaround psychologically, emotionally, and go on the road against the Cowboys team, Kmart, who is a psychology major at Wesleyan, how about the psychology piece of this from the Cowboys?
So you heard Peter talk about the deficit that the Chiefs faced. Well, how many points were the Cowboys down to the Eagles?
Down
21, right? A Cowboys coach texted me and said there was never a doubt that we would come back in this game.
Yeah.
And he credited it to Brian Schottenheimer. He said the confidence that Shotty instills in his players and the coaches. We knew we were coming back. We kept saying just one play at a time. And guess what happened? This is a Cowboys team that is coming to this game very confident. All the pressure, I think, is on Kansas City because nobody's expecting the Cowboys to win, right? Well, they play very well at home.
Can I just speak to like what Kmart's saying about like Shotty and how you know that's true, that they believe it? They didn't get out of their game plan. They kept running the football. They allowed the game to come in. If you've watched Cowboy games of past, that would have been an implosion. Those dudes just stayed the course. After the 3 minutes in the second quarter, the defense locks up Philly. I mean, when you say special moments in seasons and like defining moments, that was a defining moment. And to her point, Shotty, it didn't look like he was shaking, which is hard to do in the NFL down 21.
Both these teams faced that a week ago. They've got to turn around and play again tomorrow. We have so much more.